Have you ever wondered about the real-life villains who took the word gangster to a whole new level of scary? Well, get ready for a wild ride as we dive into the gritty world of the most violent gangsters in history. From the notorious Kray twins, who unleashed havoc on the streets of London, to the fearsome Griselda Blanco, whose ruthlessness knew no bounds. We'll uncover their shocking tales of power, brutality, and downfall. Stay till the end for jaw-dropping stories that will leave you in awe and disbelief. Alphonse Gabriel Capone. Alphonse Gabriel Capone, known as Al Capone, was born on January 17, 1899, to Sicilian immigrants. His father, Gabriel, arrived in New York during the late 1890s Italian migration. Growing up with 5 younger siblings, Al Capone displayed a penchant for trouble early on, getting expelled from school at 14. Seeking quick cash, he turned to illegal activities, resenting the disparity between struggling Italian immigrants and wealthy elites like Rockefeller. At 19, Al married May and became a father. Unsatisfied with a regular job, he joined Chicago gangster Johnny Torrio, enforcing extortion schemes with violence. When Johnny's boss died, Al was invited to join the gang officially. During the Prohibition era from 1919 to 1933, Capone and his gangster friends amassed wealth by supplying alcohol, despite the deadly consequences of toxic moonshine. He portrayed himself as a modern-day Robin Hood, but beneath the facade, he was a ruthless killer who eliminated enemies and anyone crossing him. A bar brawl earned him the infamous nickname Scarface, inspiring a legendary movie. Throughout his criminal career, Capone's violent reputation matched his long list of crimes. Unsolved murders occurred in places he controlled, solidifying his grip on the underworld. The infamous St. Valentine's Day massacre in 1929 marked his dominance, as he orchestrated the execution of rival gang members, disguising his gunmen as police officers. In 1931, Capone's empire collapsed when he was arrested for tax evasion, leading to his imprisonment at Alcatraz. His health deteriorated rapidly due to syphilis from involvement with a brothel. Released on health grounds in 1939, he continued to decline mentally and physically, suffering a stroke and dying from cardiac arrest on his 48th birthday. Despite being glorified in movies, Capone was once the FBI's public enemy number 1, responsible for the deaths of over 200 individuals in his relentless pursuit of preserving his bootlegging empire. His staggering fortune of $100 million, equivalent to $18.6 billion today, vanished with his downfall. Kray twins. Now let's take a trip to London, where we meet the infamous twins Ronnie and Reggie Kray. Born on October 24, 1933, they started as working-class deserters with dreams of boxing, but soon became notorious drug lords, mingling with celebrities like Frank Sinatra and Judy Garland. The Kray twins led the firm in London, leaving behind a trail of organized crime, racketeering, and violence, getting both infamy and celebrity status during the 1960s. Even renowned photographer David Bailey captured their essence, propelling them into the spotlight in TV interviews, leading to expensive legal defense claims regardless of the cost. Growing up in the violent East End streets, they dropped out of school at 15, turning to crime. Reggie pursued boxing, while Ronnie's mental instability caused trouble. Their pool hall in Bethnal Green became a criminal hub, extending their dominance across the city. Though feared, they commanded respect, protecting women and children. Reggie ventured into the West End, opening Emerald's Bar and transforming the East End style into glamorous nightlife, attracting big stars. However, Ronnie's erratic behavior fueled conflicts, leading to frequent incarcerations. Their war with the Richardson Gang caught the attention of the police. Ronnie's fatal shot and Reggie's final murder marked their downfall. Associates turned against them, resulting in life sentences with a minimum of 30 years before parole, holding the UK's longest murder sentence record. Ronnie spent 16 years at Broadmoor Hospital due to schizophrenia and passed away from a heart attack in March 1995. Reggie, released in August 2000 due to terminal cancer, cherished his last 5 weeks of freedom. Jimmy Burke. Meet Jimmy Burke, a genuine New Yorker born on July 5, 1931, with Irish heritage. Abandoned as a child, he turned to a life of crime, landing in jail at 18 and crossing paths with the Italian mafia. Being Irish, he couldn't become a made man, but that didn't stop him. Jimmy became an associate of the Lucchese family, using his outsider status to work as a free agent. Dressed impeccably, he was a gentleman with a violent streak, famously portrayed by Robert De Niro in Goodfellas. His most infamous crime was the Lufthansa heist of 1978, a historic cash robbery. After months of planning, Jimmy's crew stole nearly $6 million from JFK Airport, slipping away while his accomplices faced consequences. The Lufthansa heist was just the beginning. Jimmy dabbled in various illegal activities, from reselling stolen goods to hijacking delivery trucks. He bribed police to stay ahead and engaged in extreme violence, with an alleged tally of at least 70 murders. In 1982, Henry Hill, a former associate, turned FBI informant, leading to Jimmy's downfall. Though he evaded conviction for the heist, he received a 20-year prison sentence. In 1998, lung cancer claimed his life while serving time. Jimmy Burke, a larger-than-life figure with a dark penchant for crime and violence, left an indelible mark on New York's underworld, immortalized by legends and Robert De Niro's unforgettable portrayal. Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco was a notorious and ruthless female gangster born in Colombia in 1943. Despite her petite stature, Blanco was infamous for her extreme violence and drug trade involvement. Shockingly, she attempted kidnapping and murder at just 11 years old, when a wealthy family refused to pay the ransom. Griselda's early life was marked by an unstable mother and an abusive boyfriend, causing immense harm. At 19, she escaped and settled in Medellin, crossing paths with another infamous figure, Pablo Escobar. However, they became bitter enemies, not cartel allies. In the 1970s, Blanco illegally immigrated to the US, establishing Miami as her base. With the soaring demand, she became central to the city's drug smuggling operations. Miami's drug scene turned into a war zone, with violence, shootouts, and innocent lives at risk. Behind her unassuming appearance as a mother of four, Blanco harbored a bloodlust and caused numerous deaths. She eliminated rivals, informants, and even her own lovers, earning the nickname the Black Widow. She took pride in her ruthless persona, devising her own method, the motorbike drive-by. At her peak, Blanco earned $8 million per month, pioneering innovative smuggling techniques. In 1985, the DEA finally apprehended her after a decade-long pursuit, leading to a 15-year prison sentence. Released in 2004 and deported to Colombia, tragedy continued to follow her. 3 sons were killed, and her surviving child survived attempts. In 2012, at 69 years old, her life ended brutally when hired assassins shot her twice in the head while visiting a butcher shop with her pregnant daughter-in-law. This marked the final chapter of the dark and infamous gangster's life. Ramon Arellano Felix. Ramon Arellano Felix was a notorious and violent enforcer of the Tijuana cartel, also known as the Arellano Felix Cartel. Born in 1964 in Sinaloa, Mexico, Ramon and his brother Benjamin worked for their uncle Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo until his arrest in 1989, leading to the cartel's fragmentation. While Benjamin handled production and smuggling, Ramon gained infamy as a brutal enforcer. He disregarded policies, showing extreme violence and eliminating anyone who challenged him. Ramon recruited teenagers into his ruthless army of killers. His brutal acts included killing a pregnant woman and her sister, aiming to instill fear and maintain control. His violent actions eventually led to tensions with El Chapo and a series of attempts. During the 1990s, Ramon lived undercover in the United States, adopting an American persona to conceal his identity. In 2002, he returned to Sinaloa and had a fatal encounter with a police officer hired by El Chapo. Both men were fatally wounded in a gunfight. As a ruthless enforcer within the Arellano Felix cartel, Ramon struck terror into the hearts of many who dared to cross his path. His violent reign came to a deadly end in 2002. Meet Semyon Mogilevich, the self-proclaimed world's most powerful gangster, accused of jaw-dropping crimes, from nuclear weapons trafficking to buying an entire airline for his illicit activities. Born on June 30th, 1946 in Kyiv, Ukraine, Semyon rose to lead Russia's fearsome Red Mafia, also known as the Bratva, notorious for a wide range of criminal enterprises, including murder, arms trafficking, and human trafficking. Starting his criminal career swindling fellow Jewish individuals seeking to escape the Soviet Union, Semyon sold their assets for his profit. In the 1990s, he delved into nuclear weapons trading and earned a reputation as an existential threat to Israel and Europe. With an enforcer army of Afghan war veterans known for extreme brutality, Semyon's Russian mafia surpassed other crime groups in influence and terror. He extended his reach into various industries, using a jewelry business as a front for selling stolen items looted from Russian churches and museums. Despite the FBI's monitoring for fraud in the mid-1990s, Semyon's masterful money laundering skills made his money appear clean. He provided information about rival gangs to protect himself from investigations by European countries, showing cooperation. Arrested in 2008 on tax evasion charges, Semyon secured bail the following year and remains on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Connections to political figures like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have made his arrest seem unlikely. When confronted, he boldly denies any involvement, claiming the lack of evidence. Semyon Mogilevich, the enigmatic and elusive gangster, continues to evade capture, leaving behind shocking allegations that have stunned the world. Thank you for joining us. Let's remember these chilling stories as cautionary reminders. May we strive for a safer, more compassionate world, where the pursuit of power is replaced by empathy and unity.